So I want to look at that lyric that you end your song with. You can only do for me what you can do through me. So we teach in religious science that there is one power, one indefatigable, one expansive, infinite power that we call God. And I don't know about you, but I grew up believing that God did things for me based on how I performed. Anybody else? If you performed well, God would do good things for me. If I performed badly, God would punish me. That's what I believed for a very long time. But at some point in the 1960s, anybody remember the 60s? Some point, you probably don't remember the 60s. Some point during the 60s, when the love movement came in, I remember sitting in a basement in Philadelphia with somebody who was considered kind of an outcast from our very conservative, all-boys Catholic white school. And he was just so they had such a hard time with this guy. He was dating a black girl, and people thought that was like horrific. And I remember asking my parents, going, I don't get why everybody's having such a hard time with this. And somewhere along the line, I lost that God. Because that God, if he actually believed that somehow we should be racist or homophobic or any of those things, that wasn't the right God for me. Amen. Right? And it was just not appropriate anymore for me to believe that that was my idea of God. And I remember this guy when he took his girlfriend to the prom, and I remember all the parents but when we went to the prom was fabulous. And we all had a great time, and nobody cared about color. Homophobia was still rampant back in the 60s, in 1972, which it still is today in many places. But when you're in musical theater, you sort of don't notice. The show people, all of them had no problem with any of it. But I remember back then going, you know what? There's got to be something else. It's got to be about love. It's got to be about God not being that. And somewhere along the line, I bought that really early. I didn't have an answer, and I did many things to figure it out. But when I heard Ernest Holmes, I didn't hear him speak, but when I heard David Walker speak of Ernest Holmes, there's a power for good in the universe, greater than you are, and you can use it. That really got me. The greater than you are, I have since understood what that means. It means that there is something in you that's greater than even you accept yourself to be. That's what he means by greater than you are. There is a power for good in the universe. That's all it is. This energy is nothing but good, nothing but love. And it's greater than what we sometimes make ourselves out to be. So that's what I got, finally. So you can only do for me what you can do through me, because God does not do anything separate from me, because there's no such thing as a God separate from me. There's no such thing as a God separate from Margaret Owens. I mean, that's easy to buy. There's no such thing as a God separate from who you are. But that doesn't mean you lose your relationship with God. You don't lose the intimacy of what God was. I was going to be a Catholic priest. I mean, spirituality has always been right front and center of my life. It was funny, I was at a party last night, and I was introduced to the host of the party, and he said, "So you're a priest?" And I said, and by the way, I was dressed not like, I looked really good. And I thought, but I did not look like a priest. And I was like, no. I said, no, I'm not a priest. They said, well, no, they said they go to your church. I was like, yeah, I'm a minister. And he was like, what's a minister? I said, that's so funny. So a lot of people think it's priests. That's the only. So I explained to him that a minister is someone who can still get married and still be gay. And he was just like, wow. But he will come visit the church at some point. I think he'll really enjoy it. So this idea, you can only do for me what you can do through me. It's important for all of us to understand the adventure we are in right now is the adventure of opening ourselves up to let whatever that is, to let God work through me. to let who I am come out, to be fearless in my thirst, as Steve said, for adventure so much that I get to know myself in a way that perhaps I've never known myself before. So Margaret writes this song. This is my song for a new day. So my question is, why did Margaret write that song? Like what caught, you don't have to tell me, it's rhetorical. Something came through Margaret and she wrote that song. And here's the title of my talk today is this. What music do you listen to? Isn't he adorable? Obviously he's listening to something really cool. So what music do you listen to? So Margaret wrote that song, and it either resonated with you or it didn't. Right? How many people watched the Super Bowl on Sunday? Right? Wasn't it awesome? I'm not going to go into that talk. But how many people loved the halftime? Uh-huh. Yeah. 3 of you. Raise your hands again if you love the halftime. Okay, good. Yes, okay, good. I did. I absolutely loved the halftime. But oh my God, I heard so many people go, what was that? I didn't hear one lyric. I was like, did you need to? I mean, really, did you need to hear the lyrics? You could sort of hear a lyric here and there. So, Tiffany, what kind of music do you listen to?
All kinds.
All kinds, okay. What kind of music do you listen to?
Old school.
Old school. Like romantic? Frank Sinatra?
No, probably.
Young. Who?
James Taylor.
Oh, James Taylor. Oh, I love James Taylor. Mike, what kind of music do you listen to?
60s, 70s, rock and roll a little bit, and then some more of the mellow type
Mellow.
that came out of the 3.
Okay, Marilyn Way, what do you listen to?
Probably mellow.
Mellow? How many mellows do I have here? Who listens to like acid rock? Jason Mraz. This is not acid rock. Just to be clear. What do you listen to, Lisa?
All sorts of music that my daughters give me.
Oh, so you have some influencers in your life that are saying, Mom, listen to this. I used to be captive in the car with Will and Nora driving to school. And they would say, Dad, you got to listen to this. And I literally would be tasting the blood in my mouth and biting my tongue. I'd be like, first of all, it's really early for this. It was like, driving them to school at 7 o'clock all the way up to, at the time I thought it was a long drive to what street is that on? To Topanga Canyon. Topanga? Wherever they went to school. West Hills or something like that. But they would play this music and they'd know every word to these nonsensical songs that were really awful, I thought. But 4 years of high school, listening to that music, you start to open up a little bit and listen to a little bit more. So I really want you to think for a moment what kind of music you listen to. I have an interesting thing that happens in my car. I haven't figured it out yet, how to turn it off. But whenever I get in the car, and it makes Kevin insane. He literally, he gets so angry because he comes into the car, and whatever I was listening to last on my iPhone, starts blasting in the car. And honestly, he's like, what do you listen to? And yesterday it was Tick, Tick, Boom. So it was something you even knew. But it was still a little aggressive, let's say, for the car. But it's interesting the way my music has changed over the years. Really changed, and what I'm open to. So Cambridge University did this study of 4,000 people, and they came down to 3 types of people. It's like, the question was, why do people listen to the music they listen to? So they came up with 3 types of people. See where you land. Type E were the empathizers. We all know how I love that group. The empathizers. These are people who deal with feelings and emotions and love those really depressing love songs that make you feel, all those love songs that are just so depressing. I remember when I first got into science, I was like, I'll never be able to write a song again. I'm just too happy. Because most of us write songs are like, and then they did this to me, and then they did that to me. So that's the empathizers. So you would be type E, the empathizers. Then there's type S, the systemizers. This is probably you, Steve. People that are interested in the rules and structures of things, the systems of things, how things work. People that are really into the tempo and the rhythm of a music, and they really break it all apart. So there's the empathizers and the systemizers. And then type B is with a balanced person, someone who focuses on both of these things equally. So who would say that they're the type E, the empathizers? Really? Only you? Two? You, Eric? Reverend Eric is an empathizer. Okay, who would say they're systemizers? Really, Kevin? That's our problem. Okay, good. You're a systemizer? Which one? Country Western. What do you think that is? I think that's empathizer. Yeah, because he done me wrong. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard a country western song that didn't make me sad in some way. Actually, that's not true. Some of them are really getting different now. Okay, and then type B. Who thinks they're balanced? Uh-huh. Okay, good. So let me tell you. So balanced means you listen to all kinds of music and you like it all. Who thinks they're balanced? Okay, good for you. Good for you. Okay, so here are some of the factors in why you listen to what you listen to. And there is a point to this talk, by the way. Yeah, if I have to clarify there's a point to this talk, we better talk about the talk. No. Factors. Your upbringing. Do you know that you listen to the music you listen to because of the way you were brought up? It's not even a conscious choice. Just the way you were brought up. Geography. Where you were brought up. You listen to the music you listen to because of where you were brought up. That has a big impact in why you listen to what you listen to. Gender. I'm not buying this one so much anymore because gender is so fluid and nobody knows what gender they are anymore. So it's like, but gender. If you say this is who I am, you tend to go for different types of music. They found out in this research. Personality types. And here's what's funny in the research that I did. Shy people, in their research, the shy personality types were the ones that listened to the really crazy music at home, in the privacy of their own bedroom, right? Your age. And the study showed that older people are less likely to listen to new music. You're all like, this is depressing, move on. History and culture. And here's the other thing. We listen to music because of our memories. Our memories drive the show. So why is this so fascinating to me? Well, because even the music you listen to generally is not a conscious choice. You tend to fall back on same old, same old. So when the question is, what music do you listen to? It's really, for me today, more about what's going on in your mind that causes you to listen to this type of music, that causes you to act in this way, that causes you to have the life that you're having, that causes you to have the career you're having, that causes you to be with the people you surround yourself with. What is going on in your conscious mind that causes all of this? And my answer is, not a lot. There's not a lot going on in your mind consciously. It's going on subconsciously, and we don't even know it. We don't even notice it. And why I talked about my children playing me that music, because I had already decided I did not like that kind of music. I didn't like rap music. Do you know I now love rap music? I do. I love all kinds of music, and I actually do like all kinds of music. And if something comes on the radio, and I don't listen to a radio, but if something comes on Spotify, that if I have it on random play, and something comes up and it feels like it's like attacking me, I make myself listen to it. Because I want to be in an adventure of finding out, why am I reacting this way? And that's the adventure we are on if we're willing to take it. So that question, what music do I like to listen to? You know, the real question is, are you predisposed not to like things and to like other things? And if you're predisposed, then the question becomes, are you willing to undispose yourself? I don't think that's the right way of saying that. But are you willing and ready to mix it up, to really change it up? And something like this is very subtle. To ask myself, why do I listen to the music I listen to? Is it because, like yesterday, I went to the gym and I'm working out, and I put in, not surprisingly to many of you, I wanted to hear the Broadway channel. So I'm listening to all these Broadway tunes, and I'm dancing around the gym and working out. But at some point, I went on to I was going into triceps, and I was going on this machine. I was like, I think I need more than a Broadway tune to pull me through this. So I went in and I put in heavy rock, and I don't know what came on, but I was like, it got me right through where I was going. And I was like, so this is my idea of saying to myself, how, I don't want to use the word stuck, because I am not stuck, but how boxed in am I in my life? Even for somebody that teaches not to be, where am I boxed in? What do I just do by rote? Where is my adventure? You know, the adventure that you live in life has to happen every single day, and it has to happen regardless of what you're doing. You know, you bring, isn't that your song that says that? You bring the happiness into your life. It's not out there to find. You bring it. So, okay, so this month is Adventure Month. And what I would like you to do is make a commitment here today. Decide today that you're going to do something different. That you're going to do something different. And most importantly, that you're going to figure out why you are who you are. Don't just go with it. Why is your personality? Why did you wear that jacket today, do you think? It's your favorite jacket. Great. Okay, that's good. Do you remember buying it? Where'd you buy it? Neiman Market. Wow. Oh, really, Margaret? Neiman Marcus. I know, right? Needless markup. So, that's what they call it. That's what they call it.
I get my money's worth on it.
Yes, exactly. And it looks amazing. Stand up. Show them all that jacket. Okay. Now you really got your money's worth.
First applause.
But the interesting thing is, when we talk about personality, I bet you there are some women here that would not be what they would shop for.
It's a thing.
Although not, they're all going, if it's at Neiman Marcus, we could shop for it. Yeah. So you woke up this morning, you looked in your closet and went, this feels like today. Why do you think?
I just felt like having a little pizzazz at church today.
Okay. Now, I'm using you. Do you mind me using you for this? Good. Why do you think you needed that?
Well, I was in a mood, and so it helps to look fun on the
So you're in a mood. So you wanted some zazz to take the mood up to zazz mood. Okay, that makes great sense. Why were you in the mood? Don't tell us. You don't have to tell us. It's personal. Okay, you're going through a hard time. Okay, so do you all get what I'm doing here? The onion just gets peeled back more and more. Why did I wear this? Oh, I wanted to put life. Why did I want to put life in it? Well, because I'm in a mood. Why am I in a mood? Well, here we go. And then, once you get there, it's like, and what do I believe about whatever that is? Because that's what's driving the show. And that's also what's causing us to wear our clothes and to listen to the music we listen to and to forge the relationships and the friendships we have. Thank you. You can sit down now. That was great. Thank you. So that's what I wanted to come in here and talk about today. You know, it's not necessarily what music do you listen to. It's like, why? Why? Every class I'm teaching right now, the subtitle is Question Everything. And the more we question, the more we pull the layers back, the more we are daring enough to take the adventure of saying why. I feel like I'm pointing right at you, Stephen. To take the adventure of asking why. That's an adventure, folks. If you're willing to hear the answers. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? Why am I listening to this music? Why do I attract these types of people into my life? These are important questions. Yes, exactly, Eric. Why did you attract Tiffany into your life? Why did I attract Tiffany into my life? Because we're both lucky. And that's Reverend Tiffany to you.
Wanted more zazz.
Yes, I wanted more zazz in my life. So I want you to see this quote. This is from my husband. It's from Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Let us step into the night and pursue that flighty temptress adventure. Who wants to just run out in the middle of the night and howl at the moon? Good, see? And wear that jacket. But I'm half serious, half not serious. We went to this party last night, and we didn't know where we were going. And did you ever put something in your Google Maps, and it takes you in the opposite direction of where you know this place is? It's a little scary. He literally got off a phone call with someone because he thought I was going in the wrong direction. He literally said, I've got to call you back. He doesn't know where he's going. And he hung up. I said, check it. That's just where it's sending me. And it did. But
You didn't know where you were going, which is what concerned
no, but Google Maps did. And that's the thing. I don't have to know where I'm going because there is a Godgle in me that knows where it is always going. And I was right, was I not? Oh, he can't even say that word. He can say everything else, but he can't say, yes, you were right. Go ahead, try it. Try that on. Yes, you were right. So anyway, I put it in the maps, and it's taking me, literally, here's where I'm going, and it's taking me this way. But obviously something was going on. It was the same amount of time to go this way and to go all the way around. But it was an adventure. There were things I saw along the way. I have not driven through downtown that many times, even though I've lived here for, 30 years. But I was like, this is gorgeous, some of this downtown architecture. I don't usually drive through that. Then we drove through, what was the place I said, and we will never live here? I won't say what it is. You might live there. But it was very polluted. There was a lot of smoke going up through factories and stuff. And then we got to where we were going, and the view was spectacular. This house right on a cliff, and the view of looked like the whole world outside. And it was just magnificent. That's an adventure. In fact, before we went, because it's a Saturday night, I do not generally do things on Saturday nights because of Sundays. I try to stay in my own little corner, in my own little room. What show? Excellent. Cinderella. So, but it was an adventure. And I said to Kevin before we left, I said, instead of thinking of this as a Saturday night and it's going to take us an hour to get there, an hour to get back to ours, it was like a 4 or 5 hour evening. I said, why don't we take this, why don't we set it as an adventure? Let's just go out and have an adventure tonight. We don't know where we're going, clearly. We don't know who's going to be at this party except Scott and Jose and Reverend Liza. I said, and of course, the birthday girl. But let's make it an adventure. That takes conscious choice to do that. It's a decision you have to make to say, I'm willing to take this as an adventure. And everything's good. Everything works out. This is an adventure. The Google map was an adventure. We're going in the wrong direction. Woo! Who knows where we're going to end up? And I even thought to myself, if I've somehow put the wrong address in here, which I will never live down if I did, if I've put the wrong address in here and it's taking me to a place that's like 2 hours away from where I'm going, we will find the most greatest, awesome restaurant and have a fun night once I convince him it wasn't my fault. That's how we have to be willing. So let us step into the night and pursue that flighty temptress adventure. There is something inside of you that is begging you to be adventurous, that is begging you to wake up to who you are. It's begging you, asking you, ask yourself questions. Why am I here? And this is me pulling the onion back. Why am I here? Why am I here? Anybody ever hear themselves say this? Why am I here again? Let's be done with the agains. Why am I here? Oh, I know why, and that's why, and like I just did with you, peel it back, peel it back, peel it back, and you get to that moment that you did so beautifully for me, which is like, oh. You pull it back, and then suddenly you're like, why? Oh, it's that, and I still believe that. I still have that thought going on. I still act that way. I'm still behaving that way. And guess what? It's just a simple little choice of saying, and I'm done with that. Highest and furthest, wherever it needs to go. So when we talk about adventure and we talk about who we are and what we are, I really cannot think of, I teach every night of the week now, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. And each class is an adventure, trust me. And it's exciting because the students are literally thirsting for change, thirsting for expansion, thirsting for not regurgitated philosophy, but taking that philosophy and saying, and today, how does it work today? It's just amazing to go through the entire week. And by Friday, I'm like, I'm really excited to go just lay down for the day, to just relax. Because my mind is going all week. How can I know this differently? How can I know that differently? That's the adventure for me. It is adventurous for me to just keep asking these questions and to keep asking myself, why is this in your life? Why are you behaving this way? Why do you feel this way? Feelings are big indicators. Your feelings get to show you why you believe what you believe. So the next quote, clearly I'm in like a childlike manner. So this is from Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. No, the adventures first. Explanations take such a dreadful time. How many of you need to know everything you need to know before you take that first step? Kevin. Really? Then again, I see the whole thing clearly now.
I do all the planning.
He would have you think that. It's a good question to ask yourself. Do you need explanations? And this is a big one. This is really my biggest point today. I think it's time we stop pursuing explanations. I think it's time we stop making something make sense. You know, when Eric Bork, I joke with him all the time about Esther Hicks and the Abraham. You know, I'm not a big one in channeling and all that stuff. It's not something that I'm really attracted to. But in the past, I used to just say, come on, channeling. If someone's speaking through you, just tell them to take a hike and speak for yourself. I was really very rude about it. I didn't leave a lot of room open for channeling and past life transgressions and all that sort of things. Transgressions, whatever. But now I feel completely different. It's like if I need it to make absolute sense, I'm not going to have a lot to really believe in. I really am not. Now, science is important to me. Going in there and finding out that this quantum field is nothing but particles in space and that there's creative energy that connects us all together and that string theory is really nothing more than understanding that we are all connected as one thing. That's great. I love that science is proving all of that in the scientific field, and they are not, by the way, connecting it to spirituality. Some people do. Some people leave the scientific world to come into spirituality to say, this is proving this. But it's not proving it. It just feels good to be able to hear it over here and to feel it over here. But it's more about the feeling. The adventures are the things you're willing to take from an emotional place, from a feeling place, from something inside of you that is driving you forward. Explanations take such a dreadful time. I think if we wait any longer to really understand that I am God, that each person sitting here is the very divine nature living itself through you, as Margaret Song said, it can only do for you what it does through you because it is you. But you have to be willing to know it. You have to consciously know it. You have to consciously turn to it and say, here's what I'm looking at. Here's what I want for my life. So, in the end, my last slide, say yes to the adventure of you. Just like that waterfall that woman is standing in front of, there is a waterfall of information waiting to drench you in who you are. There is an infinite scope of wisdom and intelligence and knowledge and knowing. It is just waiting for you to just open your arms and stand right there and say, as Margaret's song says so beautifully, I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. And my God is who I am. So as you go through the rest of this month, the rest of our theme of adventure, I invite you into the adventure of a lifetime, the only adventure that matters, the adventure of you, Doug Draper. The adventure of you that lets you know who you are and why you are who you are. And if why you are who you are is some relative fact from the past, or perhaps a relative from the past, if that's why you are who you are, liking what you like and doing what you're doing, cut it off. Be done. Because there's something inside of you that's brand new, just like her song. This is my new day. This is my new way of doing things. I am open, wide open to whatever wants to know me, to whatever exciting idea or passionate desire wants to know me. We get to have the lives we choose to create. But just like Margaret's song said, they can't be created by passive minds. And they are not created in your subconscious mind. The only thing being created from your subconscious mind is the past, memories. And if that's what's driving your life and making you the person you are today, and you're okay with it, then that's good. That's great. But I'd like to suggest there's someone else lurking inside. Someone even bigger. Someone even more fun, if that's possible. Someone more passionate, more adventurous. And I believe that now is our time. This is the time for us to really remember who we are. And you know what? That's why we can't be at middle age yet. There's no reason for us to be middle-aged. Age should have nothing to do with this. Every single one of us, no matter whether you are Joe Jordan at 94, exactly, or who's the youngest one in the room? Who thinks they're the youngest one in the room? Probably, what is your age? Oh. 33? You're anybody younger than 33? So whether you are 33 or 94, oh, you're only 93? That's all you are? Okay. Well, 93, I always go a little bit more for her, just as the shock value later. 93, 33, 93. Great. 60 years in between you. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And if you're using that as a reason not to be adventurous, I was going to say, shame on you. Don't. Just don't. Trust me, I know. I'm right in the trenches with you. I get it. I can give you 1,000 reasons why maybe I can't do this. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe this is beyond what I really should be going after today. I have them. I have those thoughts, and I do my best as soon as they pop up to negate them. I don't tackle them. I don't get into a big fight with them anymore. I'm like, no, stop thinking that. I don't do that anymore. I just go, what's the truth here? It's peeling that onion back again and again. What's the reason here? And why am I thinking this right now? Why is this coming up right now? Possibly it's coming up right now because it's what I'm using to distract me from what is mine to do. That's the kind of work we have to be willing to do. Right, Judd? And hear the answers. And then once we hear the answers, do something with the answers. So as you go through your week this week, say yes to that adventure. The adventure of getting to know yourself better. When you wake up in the morning, think about me. That was a joke. When you wake up in the morning, you will think about me. So when you go to put on clothes, you're going to have a hard time this week because you're going to ask yourself, why am I choosing this? Think about it. I'm setting this up for you so that every morning this week when you wake up and get dressed, I want you to think about what I just asked today. That's a good way to get you engaged in this adventure. And just look at it. Well, we're going to have a lot of naked people walking Westlake. Couldn't decide. This is it. This is what you get. Make the adventure of you the most passionate, exciting thing you've ever done. I guarantee you, there's more. inside of every single one of us. No matter how full you think your life is, there is more. There is more of an adventure of life to live. I'm seeking my good, and my good is my God, and my God is who I am. And from there, I get to be the adventurer of a lifetime, and I get to take everything in front of me as this most amazing adventure. Have at it. Namaste.